Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks are back at SIUH Community Park July 7th to the 12th for a 6-game series against the High Point Rockers. Tonight, first pitch is at 6:30. It's Thirsty Thursday with $5 Bud and Bud Light drafts. Friday, July 10th, first pitch is at 7 p.m. May the Force be with you on Star Wars Night with post-game kids glow around the bases with special lightsaber training packs.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason. With SUVs made to move with your rhythm. The versatile Equinox tackles your entire day. The spacious Traverse fits your crew and your whole weekend. And Trax brings style with value you can count on. All infused with tech that has your back, so your drive always hits the right chord. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
So as I told you earlier, growing up in Brooklyn, New York during the Tony Manero days, that was John Travolta's character in Saturday Night Fever, and going to Poly Prep where all of my friends were Italian, all of them, including the great defense attorney Joseph Tacopina, a friend of mine for 48 years. He's on this show today. He's on every Friday. Arthur Aidala, another buddy of mine from Poly Prep. He was on the show yesterday. Another great defense attorney. Not that all Italians are defense attorneys, but there's a bunch that end up on this show that I've known for many, many years. Most of my friends happen to be Italian. I wanted to be Italian. Now, all that changed, of course, after October the 7th, when I became the king of all Jews. But Mamdani is at it again. And it's not just about the Jewish people, as I stated earlier. We know that him, his wife, his father, they're raging anti-Semites. He hates everybody, right? I mean, he screwed the Irish with that horrible speech on St. Patrick's Day. He screwed the Puerto Ricans by just skipping their breakfast. He screwed the Catholics not going to Ronald Hicks' installation. He screwed the Germans. And now the Italians. They built this city. They built the subway system. I mean, come on, they founded America, Christopher Columbus. He walked by the Columbus statue. It's still on social media and gave it the finger. How could anybody in this city, and I mean this now I've really had enough. How could anybody in this city, or even D.C., have anything nice to say about this creep? I know you're not Italian, Brian Kilmeade, but you have a lot of friends that are, I'm sure. This guy is just unbelievable, no?
Listen, I got to get to Justin and get you proper research. I'm half Italian.
Oh.
And Justin's here. Should know that about me. Can anyone work Wikipedia? I mean, anyone would go to... my mom was Italian. My dad's Irish. So they're all from, whether it's Ozone Park or Sheepshead Bay. That's where my family went to before they moved to Long Island, and they all came out here at one time over to Massapequa. So, I mean, it is unbelievable. They have great pride in their Italian background, more than the Irish did on my side of the family. The Irish were like, okay, that's where we were. This is where we are. The Italians were always talking about Italy, always talking about bringing back tradition. So this is a taunting right now. This is so, I mean, the thing that would have been interesting is if he did all the opposite. If he got elected as a polarizing figure and showed up at the Puerto Rican Day Parade and did all the opposite things you did, was hanging out with Cardinal, I think he's a Cardinal, Ron Hicks, showed up there and was squeezed. And then I go, wait a second, he's putting on an act. But this guy's saying, no, I don't really like these people. I don't see a role for these people, and I will taunt them. So either he's got the worst staff in the world, and I don't think he does, or they know exactly what they're doing. I mean, the same people that wrote that anti-American diatribe on front of George Washington's desk on July 4th, people go, that was a misstep. Not really. He wrote the whole speech out. I mean, he got the desk out. That's not a misstep. A misstep is a guy who walks up to you on the street, asks you a question, and you answer without thinking. This is intentional. He must think that he's impervious, that he's got for sure another 4 years. Or could he be doing this, Sid? Does he feel, is his ego so out of control, is he going to run for the Senate? And AOC runs for the presidency. And he thinks he's got it locked up in New York City after his endorsements panned out.
Oh, I think he's on a fast track to winning again. No disrespect to Michael Rappaport or Portnoy or me or Jessica Tisch. He's on a fast track to win again. And, you talk about the Senate, maybe AOC runs for the presidency. I don't think there's any doubt in Mamdani's mind that he could win the presidency that he should be able to. So if the Democrats actually win these midterms in November, which would be a complete disaster for our country, you know that his plan is to change the Constitution so a guy like him can actually run.
Yeah, he was asked that. He said, no, I don't want to change the Constitution, but who believes him? But he's never going to be able to do it. If Arnold couldn't do it, I mean, there's no way he'll be able to do it. I mean, you think birthright citizenship was a tough haul. Forget about this. I mean, you need now a amendment to get birthright citizenship modified. So there's no way he'll be able to change that. But the people that he knows, he doesn't need to run. You know, he'll be the party boss outside the power of the White House if these socialists continue to rise through the ranks. Which is really insidious is some pretend they're not socialists, like this guy in Michigan. He's called, no, I'm not a socialist. He's supported by Bernie Sanders, supported by AOC. No, I'm not. So everything is Medicare for all. You know, how all the things he wants to do about defunding Israel and all our foreign policy, as well as our military. All this stuff is socialist. But a lot of them are trying to hide their links.
This is the great Brian Kilmeade, who follows me each and every weekday morning here on 77 WABC at 10 o'clock. Puts on an amazing show. Also part of that great trio, Fox and Friends, on Fox News every morning. And we'll get to his great show, my favorite on Fox News, 10 p.m. Sunday nights, One Nation. You know, you talk about Mamdani, the people around him in his administration. This is another story. You just can't believe this, that one of his officials was set to meet with the Iranian ambassador. First of all, they're the enemy, okay? And I know he doesn't think that. He's actually rooting for Iran over America. But above and beyond that, what is the mayor of New York City doing, setting up meetings between us and a foreign country? Explain that to me.
Yeah, number one, I did not know he had an international advisor. What are you talking about? This guy thinks he's conducting our foreign policy. It's insane. So, and you know, that's what's got Hakeem Jeffries and these guys freaked out. He's just, he's not checking with any leadership. He's doing his own thing. Hopefully this has stopped the distraction to realize this is the same guy that ran on, I will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he comes to the city. He thinks he's got a foreign policy as mayor of New York City. So now he's going to go meet with the Iranian and probably advise the Iranian on how to deal with us. You know, there's word, too, that other people have reached out to Iranian officials leading up to this war, certain people with podcasts I'm not going to mention, and are interacting with him. And Mamdani's just the latest. You know, the whole belief that Putin's just misunderstood, and the Palestinians need a voice, and the Iranians have gotten a bad rap. I mean, there's a theory out there that this guy is not just a radical, but there's other people, even on the right, that are trying to do the same thing, which I hope our intelligence apparatus exposes all these people. But this is, you know, and I tell Mike Waltz when I see him, you got to keep an eye on this guy. And you got to find out if he's reaching out and taking advantage of the fact that the UN's right here in New York City.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson. You don't want to mention any names, but I will. And, you got to follow the money trail. Why would Tucker go from this amazing Fox News host and a pretty good guy to a really sick guy right now? He's sick. You got to follow the money trail. You know, talking about Iran and wanting to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. For the folks who talk about America first and end up with Israel. So it turns out, I love this story, that there's at least one, maybe two plots to assassinate President Trump. Very recently, the Iranians, one, maybe two plots to assassinate President Trump. And who gave the Americans the intelligence about it? We didn't find out about it. Guess who did it? The Israelis. So when you ask, what does Israel do for America? Let's start right there. Right, Brian?
Listen, we don't have a better friend in the world than Israel. You do not fall into this trap. The genocide, Iran is only sticking up for itself. The Palestinian people are beleaguered and they just have no guns. Remember, of all people, Bill Clinton came out. I gave him the West Bank. I gave him all Gaza. We established a land bridge. We're all set to go, and they walked away from the deal. Now we have Rahm Emanuel going to Israel saying, Israel, you've isolated yourself. Everybody hates you. And we are going to charge you for any weapon system we decide to sell you. But the special relationship is over. It's called 23 states, not one state. Really? As a Jewish guy who I guess was his dad was born in Israel, it's unbelievable that he cares that little about integrity said he wants to run for president so bad that the only way to get anywhere, he believes, with his party is to disassociate himself from Israel. Best friends we have had. What they're trying to do is survive. They have no interest in fighting anybody. They're defending themselves. And the best example is, do they attack Jordan? Do they attack Egypt? Do they attack the UAE? Do they attack Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia? Of course not. Why? Because they're not rocketing them on a daily basis. They're not terrorizing them at bus stops. So there's not lobbing missiles from and forcing them out of the north side of the country and taking lobbing missiles from Hamas in the south. When you do that to a group of people that are survivalists by nature, they learned the hard way, you're going to get hit back. And the world's response is it's genocide. No, it's called survival.
Well said. And I must say, Brian, not to blow smoke up your ass because I do love you, I watched all 3 interviews this week. Dana Bash, CNN. I watched Greta Van Susteren on Newsmax. Your interview with Bibi Netanyahu was so much better. In fact, I've been playing cuts of your interview with Bibi all week long. I looked at the other ones and I deleted them from my account, to be honest. Yours was so much better. And the reason why is because I know Greta's a friend of Bibi too, was you just make the most sense. That's the bottom line. And you talk about the Democrats, this, their new, I guess, policy trying to get elected is hating on Israel, which Mamdani did. It wasn't just about free stuff from Mamdani. I said that from day one. I've been right about Mamdani from day one. It was about giving out free stuff and hating the Jews, hating Israel. Now the whole Democrat Party, it seems like, is going in that direction. And now you got this Graham Plattner, this creep. He's yelling and screaming, they pushed me out. Who's they? He won his primary, and every Democrat, even the embarrassing ones like Pocahontas and Bernie Sanders, turned his back on this guy. Who is he talking about when he says they?
That's a great point. I never thought about that. I mean, who you mad at? But what he's done, he says, I didn't want to run. You guys recruited me. No, you are an egomaniac. You stuck with this, and you don't even push back on the allegations. So if a person X came at me or you, you'd go, no, I'm going to tell, I'm innocent. And here's why. This is why she or he is wrong. She goes, these are all wrong. They're all unfounded. They're not true. Well, what did they do wrong? Tell me about it. Because we heard her side. If you're innocent, you take them on directly and you stick around. That's what Trump did. Trump goes, this woman, I'm not going to mention her name, is making this stuff up. She's insane. This is not true. I'm going to fight I'm not going to fight generally. I'll fight specifically. And I'll tell you why I'm right. But what Plattner is he knows he's wrong, or unless he was blackout drunk like she accused him of. And now he's out there saying, I'm going to wait till Monday to resign. You know what? He might not resign. And the thing is, these guys only backed out, I believe, and I think you believe too, when Susan Collins was up 4 over the weekend in the latest poll. Susan Collins never is leading in the polls. Trailing by 8, she usually wins by 9. Now she's up by 4. And this is when he had momentum coming out of the primary. So come on. This is when she's supposed to be weak and invulnerable. So they said, he's going to lose anyway, so let's throw him to the curb. But this lunatic who they recruited as a phony oyster farmer is not going to leave, because that's the idiot that you attracted, because he's the real man that the Democrats have been waiting for. They don't even know what a real man is.
That was Liz Warren's comments, and you're right. The Democrats did the same exact thing with Eric Swalwell. Let's remember, they wanted him out of the governor race because it was getting too crowded. They never asked for him to leave Congress until our friend Anna Paulina Luna and Nancy Mason, those people made a big deal out of it. So the Democrats don't care about the women. Right? They're the party who cares about women. They don't care about the women, clearly, with all the Israeli girls that were raped and murdered on October the 7th. They don't care. But when their candidate starts to lose, then all of a sudden they find this moral high ground. They are so disgusting that it's just, it's predictable at this point. Okay, Brian, we are 2 days away, 10 p.m., Sunday nights, the best show on Fox News, the best show on cable. Let's talk about One Nation. What we're going to see on Sunday night.
Well, I'm going after this Andrew Colvett, and we know what's going on with Turning Point. And I'm watching this trial, and I'm thinking about we don't get in this, but there's a whole podcast crowd living off making up conspiracy theories that Erica Kirk killed her husband, Erica Kirk's ex-boyfriend killed her husband, Israel killed her husband, Benjamin Netanyahu killed her husband, Egypt killed their husband. plotting and plan. Ben Shapiro now has been implicated. All these crazy, the same people that said we never landed on the moon, 9/11 was an inside job, they're making money off this. We're doing legitimate things. You might disagree with us, but we make opinions about stuff we know. We don't make things up and hope to get clicks. But they are damaging this family, destroying Charlie's legacy, and now we're watching this guy caught red-handed as the murderer with the gun, with the motive, writing down his confession. His parents turned him in, and I hope this is the beginning of the end of the conspiracy nuts making zillions of dollars, screwing and bending reality. So Andrew Colvett of Turning Point, who's also been accused of killing Charlie Kirk, he's going to be on with me as my lead guest. I'm also going to have an interview with Michael McCall over in Ukraine. He's going to go over to Israel after, the chairman of Foreign Relations over in Texas. He's going to be calling me from Ukraine, telling me this remarkable turnaround that they're experiencing. I got Lydia Moynihan of the New York Post, and I'm also going to be talking to, and I know you don't love this, but I think you should, I'm also going to be talking to the guy that brought the World Cup here in '94 and launched the MLS in '96. Alan Rothenberg. He's going to be talking about the most successful World Cup by far in history, and the most successful tournament ever, and where the U.S. team goes from here. So that's just a little of what I'm doing. And also, I cannot wait for November. United States, I handed the book in. I oversaw the last edit. It's going to be the United States, October 17th. I'm going to be in Westbury, Long Island, and I'm doing a brand new show in Pensacola Saturday night. So I'm going to be using some of my new stuff in Pensacola, and then open up in the fall when my book launches on the 13th. So I'm going to drag you up in the round at Westbury Music Fair, October 17th.
I can't wait. I actually spoke to my friend Laura Loomer yesterday on the show. She's in Pensacola, Florida. She's terrific. 30 seconds. This has been a great tournament, the World Cup, and I agree with our buddy Clay Travis. We should have it in America every time. We've done such an amazing job. Andrew Giuliani and Norm Coleman, my cousin, called me from Boston yesterday before France won. I'm putting you on the spot. France has moved on now, of course. But when it's all said and done, Brian, going into Monday morning, who's left?
Well, I don't think it's going to be Argentina. I'm going to go with Spain's got the best defense. France has the best team. I think that it's going to be I'm going to go with France. It's an easy pick. It's not hard. But the thing who I'm pulling for is Norway. I love this team. They are tough as hell. They play like there's no tomorrow. Holland is unbelievable. The 6'4" forward who is just a class act. I watched them dismantle Brazil. I think they're going to beat England. By the way, I love England. I love the way they play. But I'm pulling for Norway. Their fans are respectful, enthusiastic, love this country. So if you ask me who I'm pulling for, it's Norway. Who I think is going to win is going to be France.
All right. Fair enough. I believe France will win, too. They won it 2 times ago. Argentina won the last one, but France beat Croatia 2 times ago. So if they do win, it'll be their second win in 3 tries. Brian Kilmeade, amazing as always. We'll listen to you, of course. You put on a great show, 10 o'clock every morning, and we'll be watching you all weekend on Fox News. Brian, thank you so much.
And just promise me you'll stay within yourself, all right?
I'm having a harder time doing that. I'm in the Hall of Fame now, Brian.
I know. That's right. Well, that is stay within yourself. You do a Hall of Fame performance, that's staying within your game because that's the expectation.
You're right about that.
Hall of Famer, Sid Rosenberg. Do you have to be referred to as that?
Yes. So not yet.
You change your WABC ID?
Yeah, well, not yet. But starting in October, whenever you're on this show, which is weekly because you're amazing, you must call me Hall of Famer, Sid Rosenberg.
Okay, HOF.
Brian, I love you. Have a great weekend. See ya. There he is, folks. He's coming up after me. He does a great show every day at 10 o'clock here on ABC. Fox and Friends and One Nation Sunday nights. The terrific Brian Kilmeade. Take a short break. A lot more to do. A lot of Italians stopping by today, including Joe Beningo, Joseph Tacopina, and Chaz Parmenteri. We're all pissed. Keep it right here. Sid on a Friday.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?